Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, my friends. Happy Wednesday. How is everybody doing? Super quick, I'm going to make sure I am live on Decoupage Central. So bear with me, my friend. And I see that. Okay. Make sure it's mute. Yep. Alrighty. So now I am able to read your comments if you're watching me from Decoupage Central, my friend. So today, you know, every Wednesday we do something super fun using rice papers. So today we're gonna do a summer home decor or DIY project home decor using a beautiful rice paper, okay? So this rice paper is from Decoupage Central. The link for this, if you like it, is in my description all the way on top. If you're watching me on Decoupage Central, you might not see the link, my affiliate link in description. But after I finish here, I am going to add that in my description, okay? So welcome, my friend. Tell me, how are you doing? Happy middle of the week. It's Wednesday. How was your Memorial Day weekend? Thank you so much for being here. I'm super happy, excited to do this project with you. I really want to inspire you, and I will share all what I know. I will share with you, my friend. Let me get your comments. Hi, I see my beautiful Kathy. Hi, my friend. Happy Wednesday, my dear. This is a beautiful print, isn't it? I like it, girl. Yes, I know. It's one of the newest release from Decoupage Central. It is a beautiful, I like the bicycle and the flowers. So the name of this rice paper is Bicycle with Flowers, okay? This is A4 size. So it's the regular size, the print, the letter size, but it fits perfect for my stretch canvas. So we're gonna use a canvas tonight. Hi, Susan. Hello, my friend. How are you? Hi, Marta. Happy Wednesday, my dear. Thank you so much, my girls, for saying hello as you have been. Tell me, how is your day so far? I know the time sometimes is different where you are, but today we are live from Pancos, Florida. So it's 7 p.m. here, but I know where you are, maybe the time is different. So let's have fun creating this piece, my friend, and I can't wait to chit chat with you. And again, if you are watching me on Decoupage Central, say hello. I have my computer next to me, so I'm gonna able to read your comments, okay? So thank you, my girls, for saying hello. So we are going to start. Let me just get my tablet quick, because sometimes comments go super fast, and hopefully I'm able to get your comments through my tablet. Okay, let me see. There you go. Marilyn, it is raining over there. Really? Girl, here in Florida, in my area, yesterday was raining, not a lot, but the day before it was raining a lot. But today is super hot and humid, for real. Like, the weather is just 86 degrees, but there's no way you can be outside. You're just sweating and sticky, you know, but yes, today is one of those days that you want to be inside. That you want to just stay inside and just relaxing. But yes, it is raining. I'm sorry about that, my friend. I know there's a lot of storms passing by in the country, so yeah, we're expecting rain. Maybe later in the afternoon. I see a little clouds, but yeah, we used to that. But I'm happy when it rains because I have a lot of plants. I have a big backyard, so they need water. Susan, this print is beautiful, isn't it, my friend? I know. Look at that. Look at the beautiful colors and all the details. I really like it. Okay, so hi Mimi, how are you, my friend? You love this rice paper? Yay, it is available, my dears. If you like it, it is available on the website before it's sold out. And what I create tonight, I really hoping you can get the inspiration and make your own creation and make something beautiful. But when I saw this rice paper, when I ordered from the website, I was like, I have to bring this on my life. So I'm happy I'm doing this with you, my dears. Alrighty, my friends. So I'm gonna use a round canvas. Okay, this is a stretched canvas. Okay, and I don't remember from where I got this, but you can see this kind of canvas and Five Below. Dollar Tree, I don't think they have round. They also have the small ones. You can find this in Michael's. Michael's, they have a very different sizes for the stretch canvases, especially on rounds, and Hobby Lobby. Okay, I'm sure I got this from Michael's or Five Below. Okay, so this is a white stretch canvas, round, and it fits perfect for my rice paper. Okay, we're going to use some stencils. I'm gonna use my texture paste. Let me get that. That way I have it ready. So we're gonna use the texture paste because I'm going to bring some flowers around my design. So I'm not sure which stencil I'm gonna use. I have different ones, but we'll see. We'll see what we create tonight, okay? So I will try and make it super easy and fun for you all. And again, thank you for being here. Isn't the A1 the biggest paper? No, the A3. A3 is the bigger size, my friend. So this one is A4. A4. Yeah, it's the regular size, my friend. No, this is A4, my dear. Yes, Kathy, definitely, girl. Next time you go to your favorite store, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, or Five Below. I know there's a lot of Five Below stores. It's expanding, it's growing. You're gonna able to see these round canvases. Hi, Donna. How are you, my dear? Happy Wednesday. Thank you, girl, for saying hello. It makes me so happy reading your comments, my girls. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so I'm not gonna worry about painting my background white. And you know, I always do that because especially when you have bright colors, you want all the details to pop, to show more. So I'm just gonna decoupage this straight to my canvas. Okay, sorry for I'm mixing out my Spanish and English. I'm sorry about that, my friends. I'm talking too fast. So I'm just gonna decoupage the whole thing, and I will bring some color around on the sides here in the canvas. So basically this will be a home decor, okay, a round home decor. All right, the only thing that I'm missing is my sanding. Okay, so now I have my sandpaper here. Okay, so let's see. So now I'm just gonna make sure where I want my rice paper. So I want the bicycle just to be on the side, and it's perfect. Later I will blend the colors for this area, for this white area. So I will show you the color that we're gonna use, okay? So this is how I want it. That's perfect. All right, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna use my decoupage varnish and glue. This is a decoupage glue, and it works great for this kind of rice papers. Hi, Donna. How are you, my dear? Thank you for being here today, my friend. Thank you, thank you. I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. Tell me in comments, how was your Memorial Day weekend? All right, so I'm just gonna use I'm just gonna pour a little bit of this decoupage glue because I like using my egg cartons for different things, for stains, for paints, and now this is for my decoupage glue. Okay, I'm going to get my flat brush. You can use any brush you have. Let me move this. I know we are just starting this project, but give me some hearts. What do you think? Do you like the idea that we're using a canvas for your rice paper? You know, you can use for your rice paper, you can use any surfing. You can use wood, you can use canvases, you can use metal. There's a lot of ways, my friends, that how you can combine and use with your rice papers. All right, so one thing that I don't want to forget is I want to remove this white line, okay? So I don't want that. So super quick, I'm just going to get that out. So I'm using my water pen, but if you don't have this, just use any small brush, okay? My friends, tell me in comments if the audio is good. I have my two small fans, one in front of me and one here in the corner because it's super hot and humid here in my area. And in my studio, it gets super hot, especially around this time. So for summertime, for me, it gets too much. So I like working around this time, but if it's too loud for you, my friend, that way you can hear me, I will turn it off one of them. But tell me if you can hear me, if the audio is good. All right, so I already cleaned up the edges. I'm not gonna worry about the other ones because we will just send it over, okay? This looks good. Perfect, okay. Can I use any other product? Like what kind of product, my dear Kathy? What kind of other product you want to use with your rice papers? You know, you can use rice papers on furniture as well. All right, here we go. So we have decoupage glue here, and I'm gonna start it just from the top, okay? With one hand, I'm gonna hold my rice paper. It doesn't matter if I'm going like, you know, all the way to the top. It won't affect because I am going to paint that part, okay? So we're using a stretch canvas, and that is for a home decor. We're gonna bring this down. Let me get my plastic. I have a little plastic that I like using it so I can have more, it's more flexible for me to making sure it is flat and we don't see wrinkles and bubbles. Because you will get if for some reason you miss a spot when you are decoupaging, you will get, but that is not a problem, okay? That happens to me too, but it's good to have a plastic, any kind of plastic. That way it's more easy for you to add more pressure, okay? So I think we have good in there, a little bit more around there, and now we're gonna just work. So I think with this rice paper, it is perfect for summertime and fall because just of the colors, it would look so beautiful with any project you do. So that's why I picked this one, because I think you don't have to kind of like put it away if you love decorating seasonal one. Okay, so here we have our rice paper. Okay, so we already applied the decoupage glue, and we are just going to, before we start removing the edges, we're going to dry. You always have to give a time to dry to your rice paper. Okay, my friend? You haven't used canvas for a while. I know, my dear. I know, my friend. But I'm super excited that tonight we're doing a canvas project, my friend. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, my friend. Alrighty. So this will dry up super quick because we're using a canvas. So the material it will dry super fast. So after we finish drying this part, I am going to sand the edges. I'm going to remove the extra rice paper, and then I will bring more decoupage glue and seal that part, okay? Before we start painting it and adding all the details. All right. If you're on Decoupage Central, say hello, my friend. I hope you're having a good day. My dears, if we see new friends in my page or on Decoupage Central, please let me know and let's give a warm welcoming. What is the product that you use to put the paper on? Decoupage varnish and glue, Kathy. Decoupage varnish and glue, but you can use Mod Podge. You also can use Mod Podge. Today I use this because it's been for a while that I haven't used this, just to make sure, you know, I use it, but I use Mod Podge all the time. Yeah, okay? It's just a glue just to work with your rice paper. So this looks good, okay? No wrinkles, no bubbles. Can you see it from there? Okay? Now we're gonna remove the extra rice paper. So you can use this, you can use any sander you have. So I'm just using this one. Be careful with when you are sanding the edges of your canvas. Remember, this is a stretched canvas. You don't want to damage the sizes or the edges, okay? Okay, we're almost done in there. Thank you, Mimi. How was your day today at work, Mimi? How was everybody's day, my friend? Tell me in comments. It is Wednesday already. Can you believe it? For real. The week's days are going so fast. It's good for me, for us, because, you know, we hang out once a week here on Decoupage Central on my page. But for real, it's like you just go to sleep, wake up, and then and you're already almost on the weekend. Alright. If for some reason sometimes happens, sometimes the stretched canvas need more glue, then before I seal the other part on top of it, I will bring more glue, okay? Alright, so it happens. So just take your time, check, make sure before we seal everything. Alright, so I notice here in this little part, I need more glue. So I'm just going to bring that and seal right away. Okay. All right. So let me show you, my friend. Look at this. How beautiful. It's just like that, right? Isn't it like just the bicycle and the flowers? And you can still, like, I'm missing up a good part amount of the flowers. Look how beautiful are this. You can still bring those added as an extra decoration, but look at this. The colors, they are beautiful. So if you like this, use my affiliate link that is in the description and get it. Yes, it's a beautiful print. Alrighty, my friends, so another quick drying for this part. The longest week after the holiday. Oh, my dear. It was a long weekend for a lot of us. Relaxing weekend. For Memorial Weekend, you know, it's a special time for the country, and you know, we stay home, but on Monday we have family over, so it was a fun day. It was a relaxing time, but also it was a beautiful week, just, you know, to be with my kids, my husband, and you know, usually we go for trips, but this time we stay here. Okay, so I'm bringing back my decoupage varnish and glue, and now I am just applying the sealer. Okay, so this will protect my rice paper, and especially on the edges. So you don't want to use a lot. You want to use just enough. So the first, when you're applying this, you will see it cloudy, but that is normal, okay? Okay. Alrighty, so here is with my decoupage varnish and glue. It looks a little bit cloudy. It's alright, that's okay. And then I'm going to start getting ready with the color that I'm gonna use for the top part, and also we're gonna do some raised stencil. Okay, we're gonna use some raised stencil for this project. I want to bring some texture. I want to add dimensional look on this project, so I'm very happy to do that with you, and that way you get the idea, the inspiration, my friend. Okay. All right, I'm gonna use lining. This is a folk art, and it's just a acrylic. So I think I'm done with the brush. I did everything, so I'm gonna just put my brush in the water. All right, so I'm gonna use my texture paste. Okay, I'm gonna use this. So I'm going to mix this with this color. Okay, my friends. I'm so happy you girls love this rice paper. That makes me super, super happy. All right, let me get my palette tool. So my texture paste, I'm just gonna bring right here. No idea how much I'm going to use, so I'm just gonna get enough. and just mix it over before I do my raised stenciling, because I want my raised stencil to have the color that we're gonna use for the background, okay? So I'm just mixing my acrylic with my texture paste. Hi Patty, how are you my dear? Happy Wednesday. Thank you Martha. Yes, this is a beautiful print, for real. Beautiful, beautiful. It's a beautiful one. All right, so we're just mixing this. Okay, so this is my raised stencil, my texture for that part, okay? All right, I'm gonna put that in the water. So now we're gonna dry this, just this part. This can dry by itself. And I'm gonna use, first I'm gonna use a brush, and then I use a sponge. Okay. So let me get just a medium-sized brush. So yes, Mimi, that is correct, my friend. So now, look. So now my texture paste has the color of the color that I'm gonna use for my background. So yes, you see the texture here. That's how I do it with my when I'm doing this kind of projects. All right, so here's my brush. I'm just going to paint this area, okay? And I'm gonna do the edges. We're gonna do a bouncing motions, dabbing, okay? I wanna kind of like hide the edge, the line from the rice paper. I don't wanna see that. Okay? So let me show you. Look at that, okay? I will work more with this, but for now we have that. So now we're gonna do also right here, the size of the canvas, the edges. And this is just paint, okay? I am not using the texture paste yet. That will come later. If for some reason that dries super fast, then we will make more, okay? So here we go. We're gonna get more acrylic. Hello Peggy, how are you my dear? Good seeing you here my dear. Hi Debbie, hello, hello. What size is the canvas? Good question my friend. So it is 10 by 10, Kathy. 10 by 10. 10 by 10. Okay. So if you haven't tried your rice paper with canvases, get the inspiration and bring your rice papers, transfers, your favorite colors, and tag me. I would love to see it. And tag Decoupage Central as well. We would love to see your projects when you're using rice papers, transfers, you know. All right, so we're gonna dry this super quick. Let me see if I can get my, it's okay, my Lazy Susan. I will use my hand. So I'm just drying the edges, my friend. Of course, Kathy, of course, my friend. Okay, so we already work with this part on the empty white canvas, and now we paint the sizes, you see? So I'm using the same color that I used for this part. Okay, my dears? All right, so now I wanna get the original color for what we have here. So I'm gonna get just a little bit of white, or vintage white. So I'm gonna use vintage white, is also from Folk Art, okay? And we're gonna use a sponge. I think I have a mini sponge right here. So we're gonna use a sponge for that part. Let me get some water. All right, so a little bit of the white, just that way I can change the color a little bit. I'm gonna continue using my palette tool. What is the color that first I use? Yes, it's the lining. There you go, Kathy. Take a screenshot, my friend, from Folk Art. I will take a picture later of the colors that I use for today, okay? And post it in comments. All right, so now we're gonna blend these two colors. So I want a lighter color, my friend. So I want more vintage white because we already have the dark color there. Okay, so here is the color that we're gonna use. All right, so here it comes. I always use my mist bottle just to make it more softener, more soft. All right. Okay, so we have the color here. So now we are going to just start bouncing. And now we're gonna change the whole thing, but we're adding texture, okay? I am not using that texture base yet. I am not using that yet. I'm still working with my background. And we're gonna use some dark wax as well. I will show you when I'm finishing right here. I'm just gonna do this part, okay? Because around my canvas, it looks good. There's nothing that we're gonna change in that part, okay? All right, so let me show you. So now, my background changed the whole thing. Now it looks so different. So now my sky has just one color. You see that? I see Lisa. Hi Lisa, how are you, my dear? You've been busy at work, my friend. Are you home or still working, girl? Thank you for saying hello, my friends. So give me some hearts. Do you see, do you like this? Do you see the transformation? And I just use a lighter color and I use a sponge. Look at this. Can you see it from there? So we are now seeing the line of the rice paper. Give me some hearts if you like that. Okay, so now you don't have to worry about like, I don't want to show the line, I want to hide it, what can I do? Well, use the sponge. Okay, use a small sponge. I think you can get this sponge in Dollar Tree. I don't remember where I got it, but I use it, and then just it works great when you're blending and when you wanna just add texture in your project. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Susan. Lisa, you still working? Oh, my dear. Sending you hugs. Thank you for saying hello. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, girl. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Alrighty. So we're just gonna dry quick. We're gonna dry this super quick. You're so sweet, Mimi. And now when everything is all dry, that's when we're gonna bring that texture paste. Okay? All right, maybe we can bring a little bit more right here. Just, you can, this time I am not gonna worry about bringing the tree up, but if you want that, you're able to, you know, make the tree more tall and you can give more definition on your rice paper, okay? But we're gonna use stencils. So the stencils that I'm gonna use will be on top. So it won't show too much, so that's why I am not working on the tree, okay? So it looks really good. I like it. Okay. All right, so now with the same sponge, I'm gonna go around the edges, okay? So I am not gonna put the whole sponge inside of my canvas. I'm just gonna kind of like dividing my sponge in two parts. So I'm just gonna use just half of the part of my sponge, okay? So I'm just gonna use the tip and I'm going to just bring that, adding as a kind of like a different, no, we will bring texture, but just changing the edges, making it more with shading, texture, because that is what I'm going with this project. Okay, so I am just using the tip of my brush, of my sponge, sorry, just to give the look. Please tell me in comments if I'm doing good explaining, if you want me to slow down. Sometimes I talk too fast, my friend, and mixing up my Spanish with my English. So tell me in comments if you get it. All right, we're almost done, and I will show you. Definitely, this is my favorite part when I'm working with my rice paper, because I don't want a perfect home decor. I don't want a perfect project. I like the little imperfections, and I think when you add this on your project turn out beautiful. So if you like you know, this kind of different looks, styles on your projects, So this is another way how that I work with my rice papers. Okay, so let me show you, my friend. So look, hopefully you're able to see it. You see the edges? Do you see it from there? You see that? Okay, so I just add a color around the edges. So now my canvas, and around my canvas, it has the color of this background. Thank you, Marta. Thank you, my friend. So the texture really doesn't dry out because it's mixed with the paint. That is correct. Right now here my studio is super hot, humid, Mimi, so it might get dry. So that's the next step that we are working with my stencils. So let's see. So no, it's still good. So this is the texture base with the color. So it is good, okay? All right, so this looks good. Okay, so now I want flowers because we're already working the frame out. Yes, exactly. So that's what I'm going for. I want a little frame, distressing look or texture frame around my canvas. So that's why I went around the edges. So I want flowers. So I looked into my stencils and I was like, okay, let's see what kind of stencils I can use. I'm using different stencils. I'll see which one I like it. Let's see. All right, so definitely this is one of my favorites. Don't ask me from where I got this stencil. I got it when I was in my country in Peru, long time ago. So I use it a lot. I still using it, but I'm sure you can find any stencil like this, okay? You see the material is different. So I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use this stencil. So I like the flowers, and because I'm gonna use a dark wax, I want to incorporate a antique look into this project, okay? So I'm just going to, all right, I think this looks good. Maybe a little bit less, because I want to use another stencil on the other side as well. So in this part, I just want just like that. I think that is good. Painter's tape. When I start crafting and incorporating stencils in my projects, every time when I'm traveling, including in my country, Peru, I always go and look for different stencils because I know I want to use them for my project. So I remember exactly when I got this stencil, and I create so beautiful pieces. I remember using this set for my girls' furniture, because that's the beauty when you are creating a raised stencil. You can use that for your furniture. Okay, so we are just covering the part that we don't want it. So everything else looks good. Maybe I want it just like this. I think like that. Okay, we're gonna do it this way. And we're gonna cover up this area. Okay. So let me show you. So now I have my stencil already on where I want it. Okay, so we're gonna do the raised stencil in this part. So here I come. So this is my raised, my texture paste with the color that I use. for my background. So here comes. If you don't use a color for your texture paste, then your raised stencil will be white. If that is okay, if you want white, then you don't have to use white for that part. But in this part, I want to use the same color that I have for my background. So that's why I painted with this lining color. So I'm using my palette tool. Okay, so this part is super fun because it's like you're adding icing on your cake, on the cake. We're gonna bring this back up. And let me show you. There you go. You see that? Thank you, Kathy. Yes, that is a beautiful stencil. So you see my raised stencil? Hi, Narita. Hola, hermosa. Thank you, my girl. Thank you, Kathy. Hi, Brenda. Hello, my friend. Oh, thank you, girl. Yes, hashtag replay if you're watching later. So look at this. So this is the raised stencil, okay? All right, so now we're gonna do in this part. So we might gonna use a different stencil. So before we do that, I always clean the edges, like what you use. That way you don't have to go later and just wash it. So you use a baby wipe and clean both sides, okay? All right, my dears. So now it's clean, front and back. All right. So the next part is, let's see what other stencil we can get. So I was thinking this one, because we have more roses. I like this one. Oh yes, I think this one. Or I have this one. I think this one I got it from Hobby Lobby. Simply Blessed, I think. Okay. So this goes like this. I have a small tag that I use a stamp. Okay, so we're gonna use a mini stamp. Hopefully it shows, but I want that in here. Like a message. I wanna bring like this as a message. So am I going to use a different stencil? Because you know what, I like this. Okay, this is perfect. Okay, so we're gonna use another one. We're gonna use this one, just this part, okay? Narita Bella, how are you, my friend? Okay. So here we go. Okay, just like that is fine. I have to be careful with the with the other flowers. Okay, that is good. That is good. All right, so here we go. We're gonna bring the tape, and I'm just gonna do everything. Where's my tape? Okay, here. Okay. All right, so I still have more texture base with the color, and we're gonna use this one. My friends, sprinkle the love for us. Tell me if you like this project already. No worries, Narita. Girl, I know you're busy. Thank you, my dear, for joining us today. Thank you, my friend. All right, so here we go. And when I'm doing this part, when I'm bringing my texture face to my stencils, I'm always holding my stencils. Do you see that? Okay, my friends? So if you decide doing something like this, always hold your stencils. Okay. Go a little bit more right here. All right. Beautiful. I will show you right now. Let me clean my stencil. It will dry, and let me show you. All right, so there you go. So now we have a raised stencil with flowers here, and we have another raised stencil with more flowers on the other side. So what do you think? Do you like it? Remember, we're gonna bring some dark wax and we're gonna highlight that area. And the message will be just right here. See that? Okay, you see the texture stencil, my friend? Okay. Another thing that I'm going to do, I already framed out my canvas, but I want texture too because I still have plenty here. I still have plenty texture. So now I'm just going to bring and just tap. Okay, and add some texture also around the edges of my canvas. So in some areas will have more texture base, and some areas will have less. Okay, look at that. You see that? Thank you, Susan. Thank you, my friend. So every Wednesday I try to do something different, my dears, to inspire you, and hopefully today inspiring you with this project. Alright, let's get the texture here. You don't have to, if you do something like this, you don't have to add texture around the edges, but you can only use, just use your sponge if you want. almost done, almost done. Okay, so now that we have the whole thing, we're gonna dry it super quick. We're almost done, my friend. We're almost done. Try to make this project easy and fun. I want to bring more texture, so I'm adding more. And you can do the whole thing. Let me see, should I do it? Why not? So I'm gonna go around on the top part as well. We're gonna use a clear wax. But we have to dry first that the stencils that we, the raised stencils, the texture stencils, we have to dry those first. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so I'm gonna show you. I will show you, my friend. Okay, so here comes. So you see the texture that we added around the edges. You see that? Also right here. So I did that in the whole entire canvas. Anita, you want the bicycle print? So beautiful. This is a beautiful print. Definitely I'm getting another one. I'm going to order another rice paper. But it is available, my girls. It is available. It's the link for this is in my description. But yes, it's a beautiful print. And if it's me, I will use this for summer, spring, summer, and fall. All right, we're gonna dry this quick. Before we bring the next step. So now I want to incorporate this tag, but I want to use my texture paste for that. So let's see, how can I do this? Let's see, because also you can use that as a glue. You want to glue something, you know, small paper, you can use that because you're working, because when it dries, it will dry up with that. Oh, thank you, Mimi. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you, my dears. Makes me so happy. So because it's a texture base, when you're adding your dark wax, you might gonna see some parts maybe kind of like, you know, moving, or some areas want to stay in that part, in that place. So it's normal. Remember, you're working with raised stencil. The best way to do it is leaving your raised stencil to cure 24 hours. Right now I am just working, drying this super fast. But it's better for you to, when you finish with this part, just to let your project to cure, to sit maybe for a few hours, come back tomorrow, and then you can work better, okay? So maybe that I can do for today is just bring a little bit of the dark wax, or maybe I can use my Distress Oxide dye just to bring this, and then if I want to give more antique look, tomorrow I will come back and do everything. Love it. A little bit more right here. Hi Bridget, hello my dear, happy Wednesday. Thank you Marta, thank you my friend. And I'm gonna use a glossy sealer for this. I like glossy finishes, so I will use a liquid glossy finish. I don't see comments from Decoupage Central. Just going to refresh super quick. Hashtag replay, my friends, if you're watching this video later. Oops. Okay. Be careful when you're drying because you don't want to overheat your project, okay? Remember that we are working with a rice paper and we're working with a canvas. So don't keep your hair dryer or heat tool very close. All right, my friends. So I'm going to work with this. Let me add some, let's see. My two favorite Distress Oxide is Ground Espresso and I like Vintage Photo. Okay, I'm gonna use those two. I think we're gonna go with the Ground Espresso. So I'm gonna give that edges, and I'm using a small cardboard. I stamp it. It says faith, hope, and love. But the creators of this is love. 1 Corinthians 13:13. So it has a beautiful message. Okay, get that. All right. So let's do, I'm just gonna use my Distress Oxide dye. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of like adding the distressing look, the distressing color around the edges. You can use wax. I was thinking of using wax, but I might have to let this to dry for a few more hours. So I will come back and add more dark wax if I want. Right now I am using my Distress Oxide dye. The color is Ground Espresso. So I'm getting the effect that I want, the look. But I'm just dabbing, pouncing, okay? I am not brushing it or making side by side, you know, just dabbing, giving that look. A little bit more on the top. And the canvas size is 10 by 10. 10 by 10. Okay, so now I'm going to just bring this. I'm kind of like a dry brushing. Hopefully you're able to see that. Do you see this? Give me some hearts if you see that. So now I just use my ground espresso around my raised stencil. And now my texture shows more. So you compare this with this. What do you think? Marilyn, the bicycle is so cute. I know, girl. I know. All right, we're gonna get more of this ground espresso. Kind of like dry brushing, very softly. Do you like this, Susan? Yay! Okay, so now we're gonna work on this one. So here we go. So look at that. Isn't it beautiful? I like it. Love it. All right, my friends. Okay, so a little bit more of this color. And then we'll bring the tag around it. I think I'm not gonna use my wax. I'm very, very happy with this technique, just using my distress oxide dye. So what I'm gonna do to seal my whole thing, I'm going to use only my spray sealer. So yeah, because I like it. So now we're gonna use with the other one because I like blending those two colors. But I'm just gonna finish with this part. More color. If you decide, if you do something like this, my friend, I would love to see your project. So please, please, please message me, tag me. I would love to see your project. This is just beautiful. All right, so here we have, look at that. I think that ink is perfect, right? Yes, my friend. So you see my background, it looks so different and beautiful. And look at the edges. Do you see the edges? with the texture. All right, my friends. So we're gonna get that tag, and then we're gonna use the other Distress Oxidite, and we're almost done. All right, so I wanna bring a message right there. I like that. So what I'm gonna do, I don't have no more. I'm just gonna glue it. We're gonna use a stick fast, okay? Let's use a stick fast. Yeah, we're gonna use a stick fast, and then I will bring that over this. Okay, here we go. I need to get another stick fast because this one, the tip is super dry out. Okay. I want this as an angle, like that. Yes, like this. Look at that. What do you think? All right. Another thing that I'm gonna do is with the same color, gonna bring that around the edges. Okay, we're gonna darken up this part as well. So my friends, we did everything. We did it together. I am not gonna do any touch up, nothing on this project because it's just beautiful. And I like it. I super love this new project. All right. Just to give a contrast, and unlike the vintage photo, I am going to bring just that around the edges, and that's it. We're done. Okay, we're done. Let me cover this. Look at my stick fast, my friend. I need to get another one. Oh, I still have kind of like here. Yeah, I need to buy another stick fast. All right, we're gonna bring the vintage photo. What is the stick fast used for? Is in the adhesive glue, my friend. The stick fast, it's a yes, it's a adhesive glue, but also it glues your project, whatever you want to stick, super quick on your project. So it glues super fast. Okay, so this is a stick fast. I use that, but I also use Tide-Bond. Okay. All right. So, and then my vintage photo, just to give a little of the contrast, just around the edges, and a little bit to the inside. So my friends, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for making this special Wednesday, making it fun, interacting. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Decoupage Central, for having me. I love doing this kind of projects with you all. Hope I inspire you. Hope you get a little inspiration from Grabsy Carla using this beautiful rice paper. Okay, a little bit to the inside. Again, we're gonna just get the stencils, dry brushing. what I'm gonna do, just bring this color as well around the edges. Before you go, maybe just to make it more kind of like just here, a little bit more of the dark color around the edges. There you go. I would add the links and colors that I used for this project in comments. If it's not tonight, tomorrow. Okay, my friends, hashtag replay. Let me know in comments if this was fun to watch. And I think I'm done. I'm done. There's no way I can bring another thing because it looks just beautiful. Look at this, my friend. Look at that. Do you like it? So I'm planning on using this holder. Like this is for, you know, for your home decor. Just like that. Look at this. Thank you, Mimi. Thank you, my friend. Yes, go get some round canvases. I'm sure Amazon also has canvases. Why did you add the tag? I missed that part. Why did I add the tag? Oh, because I want to bring a message, Narita. So maybe it's not showing too much of the message. But yeah, here's a message. I want to add something different with, you know, with a beautiful paper, with also with a nice message on top, and also it goes with a raised stencil. Thank you, Susan. Thank you again, my friends. Have a blessed night. Thank you, Decoupage Central, for having me. I can't wait to come back with another project next week. Hope this was fun for you, my friend. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, thank you. Yes, girl, tag me, share your project with us. We would love to see it. All right, my dears, I'll let you go. Thanks for everything. I will see you all soon. Enjoy your day. Bye, my friend.